So this is Greg Troutline with Maritime Reporter TV, and we're here today with Sam Mayall and Doug Lothian to discuss Zelim's Intelligent Detection System ZOE and its first installation on board the Ambassador Cruise Line's cruise ship Ambition. To start us off, can you just give our viewers a brief recap of what exactly the ZOE system is?
The ZOE system is an intelligent detection system. It's really there to be your eyes 24 hours per day, 365 days per year. So ultimately, it's your best watchkeeper, working all the time on every ship all year round. And what it's doing is it's looking out for potential incidents. Now, that could be a man overboard incident or a person overboard incident. It could also be potential collision or elision threats to the vessel looking forwards, or indeed security if the vessel is in port or perhaps transiting through waters that's maybe challenging.
Can either one of you or both of you discuss the entirety of the equipment and the system that will be installed on the ship, and specifically when and where it will be installed?
Yeah, sure. The installation is a relatively simple installation. We've tried to architect the system to be as easy and simple to install and to maintain as possible. As I mentioned, treat it almost like an intelligent human on board, but one that never tires, never gets distracted, never sleeps. The system is made up of a series of cameras. So as part of the ISO 21195, which is the International Man Overboard Detection Standard, we're required to cover the full periphery of the ship. So all around the ship, we have cameras that are watching to see if someone falls overboard. Those cameras are linked via a series of switches to our main Nexus server. That's really the brain of the operation. The Nexus server is where ZOE lives, and from there, ZOE reads all of the streams from the various cameras, and interprets the data. It does that in real time. So in real time, we're watching both infrared streams, the thermal streams, as well as daylight streams, to see if there's a potential person overboard. What it means by using those cameras is that we can determine the difference between a piece of furniture falling overboard, a piece of luggage or clothing going overboard, or indeed a person. In addition to that, we have cameras that are mounted to detect, if it does detect a person in the water, to detect that person and then track the person in the water.
Can you provide a cumulative price for the system, including its installation? Or basically, what I'm looking for is just some guidance for anyone watching who's interested to put this on. What are they looking at from an investment standpoint?
So from it obviously depends on the size of the ship and the specifications of the system. But what I would say for cruise ships is it's sub $1 million.
Either of you, can you discuss the specifics of the system from the point of view of the ship owner? And again, Doug, I know you said basically it's a simple system. It's not meant to be overly complicated, but we talk about new and emerging technologies in our pages regularly, from automation to autonomy to alternative fuels. But I'm just trying to think through. You're putting the system on board a ship. Does it take any specific specialized training or maintenance items that the ship and the crew need to know about?
As I mentioned, the system is a very intuitive system. It doesn't require any additional training. So from a user interface perspective, we have the opportunity, two options really. One is integration with the bridge control systems. So we integrate using the international standard. So that's the IEC 61162, or NMA backbone as it's commonly known, to the electronic chart display information systems, the ECDIS, or indeed radar systems. So the system can be displayed there. And then obviously the operators know how to use those systems. We also offer touchscreen. So the touchscreen can be used for the management of ZOE as well. But similar to your iPhone, very few people showed you how to use an iPhone. Very few people showed you how to use an iPad. Our system's been designed with a common interface to allow that to happen. Looking forward, the cameras. So the cameras themselves are simple power over Ethernet cameras. Again, powered from a switch. So again, there's no need for any third-party maintenance or management of those.
I think the key thing is protecting against uncertainty. And there's a broad spectrum of that. If we look at the watchkeeper solution that Doug and his team have built, it really picks up the gap where radar's not good. So detecting smaller objects with low radar cross sections, so stuff like submerged containers, small vessels, navigational marks. These are quite difficult to detect and do cause a hazard to navigation. So it's really complementing the watchkeeper and then adding that extra level of safety with the for the ships and the people on board. And then from the Man Overboard side of the house, it's really, again, it's about knowing quickly, and then it's not only knowing that the person's gone overboard, it's then tracking them through the incident life cycle. What does that mean for ship owners? Ultimately, we're here to save lives, protect assets, and then that for the ship owner is protecting your reputation. And then there's some work we're doing with insurers to potentially reduce insurance premiums.
I'd like to discuss the classification of the system because specifically I understand that the system recently completed Lloyd's Register Phase 1 and 2 type approval. Phase 3 certification is in process, if I'm conveying this correctly. Can you tell me what exactly needs to be done from now to earn full type approval, and what's your ETA for that?
Sure. So exactly as you say, we have stage 1 and stage 2 type approval with Lloyd's. We are in the process of undertaking stage 3 approval. So stage 3 approval looks at the continuous life cycle of the product in service, and the key point with that is false alarms. So working towards low or no false alarms as per the standard. That takes 90 days. We're anticipating having that done by the end of the calendar year.